Why is Chiefs not signing more players, and who do I prefer to play in the semi-finals of the MTN 8? Well, we'll find that out in this video. Hey guys, I am really struggling. I am struggling with understanding why Chiefs is so slow in making decisions with transfer market, because how do you start building a project ungenawo onke amathuluzi? It's foolishness. Even as a Bible, it says that if you want to build a house, you have to have all the material there ready. Chiefs is coming up and saying we are starting this project, yet the project does not have a striker. So basically, njengamanje, it's like this house that we have as Kaizer Chiefs that we are trying to build ingaba nayo foundation ukuthi okay, coach, system, and some players, the walls. But then the main parts, njengokuthi kumele score amagoli, we are lacking in that department. Kunokuthi singena defend left back uHlanti elimele, uMabiliso, they had no confidence in him. We had targets like Orashun Toti. We did not sign them. And yes, we are past the thing yokuthi Chiefs broke cha ayikho ke broke Chiefs inama sponsor ke maningi enhlezi nisho njalo. But why are they not spending that money? Why are we not spending imali mayikhona? Because njengamanje we're having to move players like Abokama Billiard from their positions as the left winger. He's being played as a forward manje because Uzwane is trying to make a plan with what he has basically. And what's that doing right now is Ukama is out of form. He's being played out of position. Last season, Benotoli, they were having a very good season, or not a very good season, but they were our best players. And under the circumstances, Stuart Baxter, then that shows you what they do have a quality. They just need ilokhunja ukudlaliswa ibhola understandayo. And izolo, we did see ukuthi uDoli was moved to E10 and it did perform. And ukhona ukuthi uDoli sabuya injury and usarecover and kusaqala season, so there could be other factors affecting performance yakhe. But there's one thing that we know for sure ngokama ukuthi is being played out of position, and that might be affecting his performance. But Chiefs is not signing someone ozoba striker. Yes, bamsayinile uKele Bimenyimana, but kwayena bafike bam-assessa for 3 weeks and then he had to go away for 2 weeks, and then 2-3 weeks, then he comes back again, sekuyima sign, and now we have to wait 3-4 more weeks, 5 was Home Affairs, for him to finish, to get his visa and start working. And while that is happening, what's happening njengamanje, Uzwane is busy losing games, and mawuthatha ukubheka kuwo wonke lama game esiwaluzayo, kuwo wonke lama game esiwaluzayo, if ungawabukanga, go watch the highlights. Watch how many chances we've missed. Watch how many times we have played the ball boxing and there wasn't someone who competed on a defender aerially. Watch how much they just bully Ukama off the ball boxing or off the ball, because he is not that player also hold up people. He's not that player also bullish a defender and end up scoring. Angithi saba release Nokovic no Castro, rightfully so, because indaba kaCastro, especially because ubehlushwa ama-injury, bekukhona noParker khona lapho obesangahlala adlaliswe as a striker, because he did perform when he played as a striker. So wabareleasa bonke without having a plan yokusayina someone ozoba replacer. And Uzwane will not come out and say, hey, Chiefs is not backing me up, because no coach does that ofuna ukuba ne-relationship right ne-team. Coaches just keep quiet and go about their business pretending nothing is wrong, kanti they know bona on the inside ukuthi kujumped. Because God forbid Uzwane ends up being fired by Chiefs for some reason, he doesn't want to be then without a club or without a place to go to. He's been at Chiefs for over 20 years now, so to him this is his home. To him this is something that he loves. This is something that he has dedicated his life to. So ngeke avela athi ay obhoba bafuna ukunginikeza imali. He's just gonna say, I we have all the players that we need, blah blah blah. But he knows that we don't. He knows that we don't. We saw the same thing with Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp saying, Liverpool does not need any midfielders, blah blah blah. Walimala uKeita, walimala uOxlade-Chamberlain, walimala uThiago. midfield yaphela nje yonke, midfield yaphela yonke. All of a sudden ku-press conference Friday session you said I was wrong, we do need a midfield. And then on that game yadlalwa Saturday kwase kufike the club chairman, the club CEO, chairman, whatever, sekuzobhudukezwa-ke manje ukuthi kusayinwa abadlali, because that's something engabe similarity between Liverpool ne-FSG, the owners of Liverpool, Liverpool ne-Chiefs, ukuthi sometimes bake babe ngamaqonqela nje bangafuni nemali, and then you end up losing important players because you are competing against ruthless Sundowns. Siyabona no-Abubakar Nazir nanomtshito omunye omusha, I haven't angakalibamba igama lakhe ngekhanda, but ruthless. Thathi Pirates uyabona ukuthi even though kungathiwa akakahlangani kahle under their new coach, but uyabona ukuthi they are now getting results and sikhompyutha nabo labo bandlalo. Cape Town City mayitholana nathi yasishaya Stellenbosch, we saw how good for football they play. So in your mind you have this thing yokuthi the people that we are competing with, Stellenbosch abanayo budget, Sundowns definitely has a budget twice over, iPirates ispendile yathatha zonke itrack existayo South Africa, yet thina we are not. Because ubonele bench lethu izolo, did you see our bench? Like even Duduzi, you cannot put them ebenchini because banesikole, so kumele ubashiye egoli uhambe eCape Town because ingane zesikole safunda. To a point yokuthi sekuze kwabizwa noDuba ukuthi azopractice ne-senior team, because if kune striker abafuna ukusayina siphi bazosayina phela mhlambe ke whatever, because i-transfer window ivalwa end of September. But mabe sayina leso striker, how much damage would have been done? Imagine what we would have done a game in a Royal Army with a striker. That's 3 points. Imagine if we had a strike against Cape Town City. Well, that was a different case. But even against the Sundowns, sad long 4-0, but I don't think that's a true reflection of how the match went. So we're talking 6 points that we could have recuperated even against the Cape Town City. It changes approach if you have certain players. And because we didn't have certain players, that's why we ended up losing games. So Leo guys, it doesn't sit well with me. By the way, if you have been watching this channel, you know ukuthi bengilahlekelwe iluggage yami airport, but I got my clothes back 17 days later. 17 days later, I was fuming because my bags were just there sitting. But I have my clothes back, so that's good. Anyway, depending on when you watch this, buzoba ne draw in what? I don't know, 2 hours. And here's who I prefer to face between Sundowns, Amazulu, and Pirates. I actually prefer to face the Pirates for my semi-finals. You ask me why? I don't think it's because, I'm not saying this because I think Pirates is the weakest of the three, but I want Pirates because, as I pointed out in the video yesterday and the other day with him, I feel like our players also don't show the mental strength and the motivation to want to play and crush teams. And which game is better to get the best out of our players than a Soweto Derby? Because with Soweto Derby, you don't need to motivate players. Nobody wants to lose edlala kwi-Soweto Derby. No one in history, unless you get match fixing, but akekho umuntu ofuna ukuluza iSoweto Derby. And depending, well, hopefully we win iSoweto Derby. If we go to the finals, we will carry momentum yokuthi we are so motivated, and we will only be needing one more win, and then we break this long drought. So it's better to get a Pirate and be motivated and pumped and know ukuthi abafana will give it their everything. They will fight for everything, because even under Baxter, even under Hunt maybe makudlalwa nje Soweto Derby, you see ukuthi Chiefs is really trying to push and make sure ukuthi they get something out of the game. Kanti mazodlala namaZulu, amaZulu khona ukuthi we are a bigger team than amaZulu, but still they managed to get results against the Chiefs. So the last thing I want is to be whooped by amaZulu, because I don't think there will be too much motivation ebadlalini. So bekukhona ukuthi we want to win. But mawudlala ne-Pirates, there's that extra thing that pushes you ukuthi we want to win, we want to win. And the Sundowns, I wouldn't want to play them now because kusene-trauma emakhanda abadlali ukuthi basidla labantu. But if we beat Pirates, then so sinaleyo nto leyo ukuthi we can beat anyone kuma-finals. So guys, who do you prefer to play? And vele manbuka, if you watch this after watching a draw, do you think this was a good draw? And who would you have preferred to face? Let me know down in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember equals al pelumo.